I'm finally back from my business trip. It's been about, I would say, like 3 days, and I had some time to think about how I'm going to change my life for the better. I know it's not going to be easy, especially at the age of 45 or anything over 40. It's very hard to change your ways. But I thought about three aspects at least that I can use to move myself in the, I guess, the correct direction. Number one, I thought about my goal since having a 4 year old is to maximize my time with my family. It's become very important. Regardless of being self employed, I realize at this point, at this stage of my life, I want to be there. I want to be happy, number one, spend time with my family, and just alter my schedule the best way I can do it. So the three aspects I figure I touch on is number one, when will I be with my family the most? When my wife is home from work, when my kid is home from school, and when I'm not the busiest. I'm pretty flexible because like I said, I have a business. Number two, I wanted to see when I can be the most productive for my business, where I wouldn't get any distractions, with phone calls and just life things during the day where you just tend to think about like, hey, what just happened with my day? It's over already. And three, um, I guess finding that time to take care of myself because once you reach 40, you tend to realize, all kinds of things start to go on that you never had happened before, actually. So these are the three things I figured at least mold my day or mold my schedule out to start somewhere. Number one, I thought about, well, when am I going to be with my family the most? Not really an option, but I figured after, let's say, like after 5, my son comes home from school and my wife gets home from work. I figure this time has to be blocked out for 110% attention to my family. So I blocked out that time from, let's say, 5 o'clock till I would say the next morning, because 5 until, let's say, my son goes to sleep, that's time with him. And then afterwards is time with my wife. So that block was set aside, and I would mark that down as uh, just a time where I just can't be bothered with work or even bothered with just being on my own and taking care of my own being. So that took care of part one. Part two, I have a business. I mean, like anyone that's self-employed knows that it could just take over your day. It could take over your life if you let it. And that's how it was for a long time, actually for many years. But it just has to change. So I figured, okay, I was never a morning person, but I thought about it for a little bit and realized that from 4:30 to maybe when my son gets up, about 6:37, there's a good chunk of time where I would not be bothered, even with work calls and anybody being up at that time. So I figured I'd take that block to get a head start on, let's say, some emails, maybe do some reading, and then also maybe start working out and taking care of my body, whether it's stretching, yoga, anything that I'm trying to pursue at this age that can prolong my life and not from injury, from sickness, just put myself in a good position where I can just be there for my family. So that little block was going to be a mixture of just getting a quick head start on some of the replies and emails, gather myself for the day, spend some time for myself, and then at least get a head start for the day. Uh, the third thing that I figured was there's this now I'm going to have this block, and this block is pretty much from when I drop my son to school, about 8 o'clock, to about, let's say, 4:30. That would be my day to day where I can actually get some stuff done with work. Also think about, like just random things, getting prepared for the next day, whether it's like things for the house, personal things, work things, and just getting a head start on the rest of the week. So hopefully this can help anyone that's trying to make that change, in their schedule. Because as I said before, My schedule was just, get up for work, take my son to school, work all day, stress out, no real organization there. He comes home, feed, do the whole routine with, just getting him ready for bed, feeding him, getting him ready for bed, and then going to sleep and then doing the whole thing over again and not really have any purpose behind it. So at this point, I figure, let me break it up into 3 parts. It's going to be adjustment because I'd have to start shifting, I'd have to start shifting my days in terms of like waking up, getting the body acclimated to like, the actual wake up, like, like the internal alarm clock, and which I find to be the best way to actually go throughout the days is just letting your body wake up at its natural time instead of an alarm clock. So I've been trying to shift it the past few days, little by little. We're gonna see how it goes. It's gonna be difficult. I went 40 years with same old routine over and over, but there's purpose behind this one. I have to maximize the time I have with my family, but at the same time, whatever time I put towards work, it has to be the most productive. Hopefully it's helped somebody, and I'm open to comments. I'm open to ideas of how a 40-plus-year-old new family has been dealing with just life and changing the schedule day to day, just because it's difficult to raise a family at this age, especially when both parents are working, body starts to break down. You want to try to exercise. You want to try to fit all these things in there. So I'm totally open for comments and ideas, and I'm willing to try new things. Probably the next video, I'm just gonna just go and maybe document my typical day right now, from when I get up to actually when I actually get home, and everything that I have to deal with throughout the day, and see if there's a better way to actually just pursue that day in a more efficient manner. Hopefully this helps. If you want to follow my struggles, my story, and I'm open for anyone with similar experiences, please subscribe or just comment. I'll be happy to converse with the comments and just see how everyone else is doing, because I know there's a big trend with late 30, early 40-year-old parents that are late in their career, they're having kids. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.